Alright everyone, and welcome back to the dreaded episode 2. I say dreaded because episode 2s of literally anything are going to be the worst no matter what. Now I have a lot of opinions on this, and I'm going to be sharing them all, but I just want to start by saying thank you, first off, for even visiting a second episode. And the reason why is because the first episode breeds the most curiosity, it's the most interest, it's the most nuance, it's everything that you want the show to be. It's, the introduction to the world. The last episode, obviously, is the payoff for everything that you've watched up until that point. The middle episodes are the plot, the substance of why you've been watching the show. It's the payoff. Middle episodes are the plot. It's what gives the payoff in the introduction, meaning it's just how everything should be formatted. The second episode sucks. The second episode is the introduction or getting cozy with the world. Like, you had the shell shock in the first episode. Second episode is the cool down. It's the let's relax and do nothing episode. Alright. Now I can actually talk about the game, because I had that spiel, ready and on lock, and I really wanted to say it. I really wasn't sure what the best way to, format it was, so I just wanted to, ramble for a little minute. Oh god. Oh god. So, this is Wii Sports. You know that, it's one of the most iconic games of all time. This is my favorite game mode, ever since I was younger. It's a weird thing to, kind of gravitate towards when it comes to, a game. But goddamn, if this wasn't, the most fun I would have, because training modes always went hard. There's no question about that. There's a reason why people are still playing it to this day. But this is the best game. Just pure skill-wise, it's cool. It doesn't feel repetitive because, the wall behind you breaks, the more you hit it. And I think that was a really cool design concept that my, 5-year-old brain couldn't handle. I forget what Platinum is. I want to get it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get it today. And that's fine. I know my life will go on whether or not I have it or not. But my old high score was, I know it's going to appear on the screen, 23. I just want to get past the high score. I'm going to erase whatever record my little kid self had, though this isn't my actual high score. I played the game on the Wii when I was younger, and I'm playing this on a Wii U, so all of my data is technically different. So I'm versing my middle school self, not my little kid self, but I hated myself as a middle schooler, so this is probably better for me. Yeah. I'm gonna try and not say, This is the hardest shot. Trying to, hit it backwards, with a backhand. I can do it in real life. I suck at doing it in Wii Sports. Bang. Oh, no. I'm really messing up the wall. Hell yeah. Yep. Okay, I'm getting the strats down. That wall's gone. Okay, 18. Quick hit. Damn it. It's alright. 18 points is pretty good. I've only been going at it for 5 minutes? Physically could not tell you. I don't know how many platinum medals I actually have in this game. For maybe a few months, I've kind of gone down this rabbit hole ooh, I've kind of gone down this rabbit hole of watching people play Wii Sports, just like getting platinum medals. And every time I think to myself, damn, that's really cool. I loved trying to get them too. I think the one time, like ever in my life, that I got all platinum medals was in Wii Motion, Wii Play Motion, either one of those. Uh, it was just like the most achievable. Like there's 8 games, like it's not that hard. But I would grind that game. I think the hardest one for me then was table tennis, just because I have the patience of like I just don't have patience. Especially when the purpose of playing that game was to get a high score. I couldn't give myself the patience. I would be telling myself, okay, all I have to do is get to 200, and each time that would take at least like 5 minutes. And it's like, okay, sure, I could probably be patient enough to wait the 5. I'm getting confused. I could probably be patient enough to wait the 5 minutes, like, to get there. But not only do you have to hit 100 first and then lose all the progress and go back again, but, it's difficult. It is difficult. It's also kind of interesting. I don't really see anybody playing Wii Play Motion. After we played, people just stopped caring about its sequel. I'm probably gonna play it because they have a really cool umbrella game that I really like. And it kind of reminds me of like a bunch of fantasies. Like as a kid, I watched Mary Poppins. I'm sure everyone did. Like very popular movie. Like opening scene, woman comes down in an umbrella, like flies down from the sky. I think that's how it ends. Like she picks up her umbrella and starts to fly again. I digress. In that game, you essentially fly on an umbrella with like these really strong wind currents, and it's really cool because it reminds me of like a bunch of like those little kid fantasies, like daydreams that you'd have like on the bus. Like, I wonder if I like jumped off of this bus while it was moving really fast, and I could just fly on my umbrella all the way down. Like it would have gone crazy. Oh, I'm fumbling the bag so hard right now. Don't go in the hole. Okay, 15. Not terrible, not terrible. I forget what I got last time. Don't go in the hole. 17. Going crazy. I thought that one was done for. No! It's alright. 18 is pretty good. I should start doing more research before I start recording stuff like this. I come into this. I come in with one topic that has been on my mind. And that was, oh, the second video is always going to be like the worst because just the nature of everything I explained already. And then I just kind of leave myself to my own devices. It kind of reminds me of when I was in middle school. There was this website called Playtest Cloud. And you know, little me was like, oh, I can make money playing video games. Because like that was the most mind-boggling thing that me and my friends could ever think of at the time. How the company worked is they give you like really crappy mobile games that people that are trying to like, you know, download, get playtests for, and we would play them. Oh, going for a risky maneuver right there. So we would playtest like small, like practically unknown video games, and that was it. And we'd make like maybe $4 for most of the games. So like I have to focus. No, no. Oh, that's so perfect. Oh, little me just got destroyed. I want to go to 30. That wasn't even close. But we'd make like $5 for every playtest, and that was pretty cool because $5 to me back then was the most money I could ever hold in like any given space and time. I felt like a millionaire. But they only offered it like maybe 2 times in a row. Like I only got maybe 5 playtests in before I was just like, this is just so much energy. Because a lot of what they asked was kind of like basic YouTubing, right? It was play the game, make sure you have good audio quality, and when you're playing the game, don't use like, as, or and they just wanted you to keep speaking the entire time. I thought to myself, okay, I could do almost all of those things really easily, but I am not a very vocal person. Most of the time I like to stay silent, I like to just keep quiet, keep to myself, because that is just the most comfortable I am. I just kind of like that sort of peace and solidarity type beat. So it kind of brought me out of my comfort zone. Oops, hit the mic. It brought me out of my comfort zone in a good way. Kind of like got me prepared to like be more willing to try this. And I definitely want to make and record more video game type things. Less for the sake of content, partially because of it. I love making music, and I love making things. More than anything else, I want to keep making things. But after about a year, maybe even 2 years now, after just making a lot of music, I got to the point where it was like, I really like what I do. And I don't really need, I don't really need this larger than life thing to happen to me to keep making music. Like I didn't need like, oh, that was unlucky. I didn't need divine intervention to say I'll keep making it or I'll stop making it. But what I needed more than anything else was this feeling of, I guess, peace. I didn't want to pump out music like devoid of meaning. I want all of the things that I make to not only sound good, but give off this radiance of being good. Which is, a little hard to explain, but it's kind of like AI in the sense of they can make a really good art piece. They can do it in almost 20 times the speed of a human, but like it doesn't give off this feeling of creative expression, of like the time it takes, the toll it takes on whoever is making it. And I felt like in a way that because I was making so much, because I was trying to do it so fast, that I lost a lot of the meaning that I wanted to put into it. And that's all right. I mean, it was always up to me how fast I went. And I tried to keep it at like once every 2 weeks at most. But lately it was more of a guilt that I wasn't making things. And it wasn't a guilt like, oh no, my poor audience. No, it was more of a, well, if I'm not making things, what else am I doing? Because I want to stay busy. I really want to stay busy. There's nothing I want more than to like have things to do. A boring life is a bad life. But it was a guilt that I could be doing more and I wanted to be doing more, but I just wasn't. But now this, like, just talking, this is a format that's so easy to do. I barely have to put, like, any effort in. I can play games, I can have fun, and I can just relax. Not that I wasn't relaxing before making music, but when I say it drove me insane, I would listen to the same song on loop for maybe like 2 hours straight some days. And by the time I was like finished like uploading it, I would get this feeling of I don't even know if the song is good or bad anymore. I've gotten so used to hearing it in this particular way, in this particular light, that if it was the worst song in the world, I was so detuned out of it that I couldn't tell you which way it was. It could have been the most garbage, stinky poo-poo song ever made, but I would still be like, nah, it slaps. I listened to this way too long for my own good. And I would remedy this. I would remedy it by having multiple projects laid out, like, on my computer. I think I've uploaded, I'll just say 90 songs, just for the sake of it. I have over 160 projects just on my GarageBand, because that's the whatever DOW, I don't know acronyms, but yeah, I have like 150 plus projects, and half of them just go uncompleted because I like to switch it up every now and then, go back to see if I can find inspiration for my old songs, but not always, but usually it would work out. Crap. I think I forget where I was going with this. Oh, but making this is just so easy, and it fills that void of wanting to make something but not having the creative expression to do it. Like, this feels more like a reflection, and I mean reflection in the most important way possible. They say that there are 3 main steps to having a memory. There's the action, there is the reaction, like how you feel after it happened, and then there is sharing it with others. We as people are, social beings, and without the capacity to share and, I guess, mutate that experience to give other people the joy, then we have not fully lived through the experience. It's a little incomplete. And every time, like, after I've made a song, it goes away. I don't really talk about it. And so I felt like I wasn't fully into, that's a bad word for it. I wasn't completing the process. Like, I would never do a Q&A. I mean, what would the questions even be like? Have you tried using F minor instead of C sharp? And my response to that would be, I don't know how to play the piano. I have a piano at my house, and I'm going to take a photo of that, but I, for the life of me, cannot do scales. So I put a bunch of tape on my piano so I wouldn't have to remember, and I would just play by looking at the pretty colors in front of me. Either that, or I would look up a scale, play everything in the white keys, and then try and manually transpose it. That's what I've been doing with some of the newer stuff. But ever since I was a kid, I was like, okay, all these white keys, slap. All these black keys, slap. I can't use them together, and I felt like a racist. Because, I mean, goddamn, it's the piano is the most user-friendly instrument. But it's so nuanced and so complex. Not that I'm ever going to learn the nuance, but maybe eventually. maybe if I actually like really start to care about the piano specifically. Right now I care about it like I would a distant friend. Like, yeah, no, we go way back. We're chilling. But not in the sense of like a close family member. Like, I love you. I need you. I want you in my DAO. God, I need to remember what DAO actually stands for. Isn't that like a stock? It's probably a stock. I don't know much about stocks. Okay, I'm back in the 20s. Now I'm back in the 20s. First hole in the wall. It's pretty good. Pretty good having it so late. I kind of want to hit 30. I don't know what a good target is to aim for. Alright. I gotta focus up. Focus up. No, don't get closer. Don't get closer. That's bad. No. Get further away. I'll let the beast out. Oh, this game is not doing me any favors right now. Up. Yeah. Quick attack. Mm-hmm. Stop making me go over the void. Oh, God. That was so lucky. Oh, I got so lucky. I got another high score. I don't even know what block I hit. I mean, 28's really good. 28's really good. I think I'm just gonna decide to end this video when it comes naturally. I don't really have much a plan and I don't have a script. The original idea that I was gonna do for videos like this, I was gonna record my dreams, right? And I could probably do it with a voiceover if I become, you know, good enough. But then it just feels like I'm recording Subway Surfers gameplay, and that, to me, feels hella disingenuous. But... oh god. But the first take I did, I was playing the game I was playing Mario Galaxy. Oh no. Oh no. I was playing Mario Galaxy, and in front of my TV, I had essentially notes. I'll write these multi-paragraph essays when I wake up, because I have a near photographic memory of my dreams. I would have these 10-page essays for what I was dreaming about. And I had this editing idea I could do, which would be to separate the game audio from the vocals, essentially what I'm saying. And I would isolate the game music, slowly pump on my own music, and the more introspective I get, the more of my own soundtrack I would play. Kind of like an anime OST when someone's about to kill somebody. Like they go all out. And that's what... oh no, I was doing so well. And that's what I was going to do. But I ended up focusing so less, because if you watch the Super Mario Galaxy video, I was doing the final level of like the entire game in a 1 HP hit run. Essentially like the Grandmaster stage. And I got through it like multiple times. I didn't finish it because the game did not like me, which is fine. But I kept zoning out, just trying to like recall and think of my dreams that I guess like my body and brain just got overstimulated. It's not only that I was talking, which takes a lot of bandwidth. I was playing like a game pretty intensively. And then I kind of like had to run the dream in the back of my head so I could give details on it. Like, that's a lot of effort. Not to say that's not going to be worth it, like if I ever get that down, but I have a lot of crazy dreams. They're never plot heavy, but it's more just like, I'm going to try and recall one from the other day. And I'm not going to be doing it in great detail as much as I would want to, because I know that my brain's just not going to be capable of it right now. And I'm going to try and do it without a script as well, to see if that helps. So for both me and you, the viewer, this is going to be a new thing. So the other day, I think this is maybe 4 days from now. Hit it, yes, no. So maybe about 4 days from now, I had this dream where I was essentially like trying out for, like working for, you know, Smosh. Everyone knows Smosh. But I was essentially applying for, you know, to work for that company because like they all seem really nice and really cool people. And I was at my grandma's house, because that's obviously where Smosh HQ takes place. Oh no, I'm zoning out. I'm fumbling the bag. Quick hit, yep. It's on the other side of that. So I was at my grandma's house, and everything was going good so far. Everyone there... Oh, I have to hit it high. Yeah. Oh, bazinga. Everyone there is looking for things to do. Just random stuff to occupy their time. And I'm there, you know, not really knowing what to do, so I'm just sitting around waiting until the next main project is going on. I think this is platinum?
You beat the high score.
No. But I'm sitting there, waiting for things to go on. I'm just doing my own casual self. Never really needed anything to happen. So, it's not until the shoot, or I suppose the video's going on, that things actually do happen. So I essentially get teleported to this grassy field. It's kind of like a soccer arena. It's kind of like a basket. It's like if you mix a soccer arena with a basketball arena. Everyone is lining up all in this straight order, and me just being like, you know, I guess the casual person myself. I'm not really thinking much of anything. I'm very much so a passive or a conduit for things that happen in my dreams. I don't really need like the most dramatic thing to happen. I just kind of go along for the ride most of the time. So someone brings me aside, tells me, hey, we have to redo some of the makeup for your costume. I'm like, okay. This does not seem out of the ordinary for me. Because, you know, I don't do any of this stuff. That just sounds like something that happens. So I get pulled aside into this barn, which is right outside the soccer field. And at this point now, I'm wearing a giant pirate outfit with this big heavy chain around my neck. It's like draped around, kind of like a silkworm. Because obviously in dreams, I can't feel the weight. It's just like, I know it's there and I can sense it's like overbearing and heavy presence, but it's not like it slows me down in the slightest. So, for a few minutes, they pull me aside. They tell me, okay, we're just going to do this one quick thing. And before they send me back out, they give me this heavy cogwheel. It's like an old, like, I'm trying to think of the right word for it. Like a steering wheel, but like for a ship. You know what I'm talking about? It's, I don't know. I don't know why I can't think of the name for it, but it was basically like a ship steering wheel with a big like handle, like it was a cog wheel. Not really knowing what to do with it, I drape it around like the chain that's just around my waist, around my neck, and I get sent back out into the field. The video starts as we're all walking back towards this barn, effectively waiting for the challenge to begin. Now, they didn't really tell anyone, me included, what was going to be happening, and you best believe me that I was not really concerned about it at all. In fact, I was, just relaxing for the most bit. Everyone goes into this room, and it's like this bad haunted house. It's like the room is almost pale dark with a purple-orange underglow. Like, there's not Halloween decorations, but it's still like ominous themed. Like almost everything is built in black shadows, even with the underglow. It was kind of like entering the Nether in Minecraft for like the first or second time, where nothing, feels intimidating, but goddamn, does the ambiance really take you there. So I enter this place, and I'm with a YouTuber that I really like and respect, Brian David Gilbert. Like, me and him, we're gonna like tag team this place. We're going to like get through it really fast. We're gonna, find out whatever this puzzle, whatever the video that they're making is, and excel at it. So he starts running around, I start chasing him, and we end up going through like at least 12 different rooms. Mind you that they're all effectively the same. All of them, have the same sort of stage directions, but they're all like cookie cutouts in the sense of they all have very weird oblong rigid shapes. They're never like a normal rectangular room. They have steep angles, like you're walking and running up slopes, but even with all of the chaos, it just feels like a room. So after a few rooms in, I ended up losing sight of him, and I think, oh no, that's so terrible. So I ended up just going my own way, and through a set of what felt like dripstone cave looking teeth in the wall, like a jail cell, I see this big white glowing button. I'm like, okay, I've played video games my whole life. I know that this is a key, almost lost, an item of key importance. So, knowing I can't get it right now, I decide, okay, I'll figure what this is all about, and I'll come back to it. So, I keep progressing through until I enter this room that is kind of decorated like a volcano, if you know what I mean. Like, it's very red, and instead of just the room being baked in shadows, I can kind of... Aw, that stinks. I can kind of see everything. Now, in the previous rooms, like the room where I entered, I couldn't really see a thing. It was just the outlines of anything physical, everything like that. And that was just about it. Now, I obviously saw the jail cell, but this time I can like actually see the ground and see the surroundings. So, as I enter and proceed through this room, there are people in it. Now, none of them are doing anything. They're just kind of standing around, going next to this wall. Now, I didn't really care about what was on the wall. What I was more interested in was this room that had like 3 computers, like 3 LED screens at the top of it. So I climb up a bunch of the platforms into the center of the room, and on the 3 screens were 3 buttons below them. On the middle screen, they would ask me a trivia question, and then the trivia question would vanish, and on each of the screens was an answer. I would have to figure out what the answer to the question was and hit the right button. You know, simple game design, it's very simple. So I would get it done. Hold on, my cat's screaming. So on the 3 LED screens were 3 answers. I had to solve them. You know, basic game design, everyone knows how it is. Except I don't know the questions, and I don't really have enough time to read them. It's kind of like when you hit a random word generator too many times and a bunch of random words pop by. Yeah, he's still screaming. I'm just gonna keep going with it. I see 3 answers pop by. And in my mind, no matter what nonsense, what chaos I'm going through, I think to myself, okay, yeah, no, this is clearly the answer. Just like in blind confidence, not really knowing what was right or wrong. And, you know, I went with the notion that I was always going to be right. So I stomp on the middle button and it's wrong. And I think, okay, well, clearly I did get the answer right then. So something about the game must be incorrect. Turns out, underneath the kind of the display screen, there was a bunch of wires connected to the buttons, and they would change every time a new question was answered. I then rationed to myself, oh, I think I understand. So whenever a new question comes up, not only do I have to guess the answer, but I have to figure out what answer responds to what button. I think to myself, okay, that's easy. And I kind of gave myself plot armor because I, gave myself the understanding of it all. And I get through all 3 questions. The room starts to flood with people as they're all entering that tiny room that a few people were kind of bunched up in before. I'm a patient person, at least in my dreams, so I just kind of let them all, frenzy at it. And once the room is mostly cleared, or the line shrinks down, I hop in, entering the room myself. Within it is a button, kind of like the one I saw in The Room Filled with Darkness, except this one is green and the other one was white. So I take it, and when I grab it, it just appears to be like men's multivitamin gummies. That's just the bulk of it. Like, they turn into gummies for no reason, but regardless of its form, I put it onto my little cogwheel, and it fits in perfectly. I don't know why it did, but it just does. I grab a second one in case Brian David Gilbert would want one too, and I progress through the room. I enter this kitchen area only for a short bit, and after I'm done exploring that, I exit into what I think is the hub room. And I knew this before entering it, because I was just like, what's up, people? I got the green button. Kind of like a snarky ass about it, but like in a joking way. While I'm walking through the halls, I'm like, where is my boy, Brian David Gilbert? I'm looking for him so I can give him like the men's vitamins, because it's very important that he receives it. And I end up meeting him again, and give him the vitamins, and we start going down another hallway. Down this hallway is, I'd like to describe it as a tourist attraction in Italy. It's just one large street full of fancy, just like detailed buildings, all with like the common denominator of being in scribble speech, which is just like weird Italian cursive that I don't understand. Sorry for any Italians that also write in cursive. Wait, hold on, is there a cursive in other languages, or is that just like an English thing? Okay, back to the topic. We're walking down this large avenue in this weird touristy spot in Italy. And it's all fine, we're all having fun. And then this, like, dude, almost a few inches taller than me, and I'm 6'5", so, like, he is a giant. He walks up to me and starts trying to like shove me into one of the stores. And the thing about the stores is they are flat. They are like two-dimensional. Like they have theoretical depth, just like in the sense of like if you can draw something really good, you feel like you can touch and hold it. But they are blank. So obviously, not trying to get shoved into the wall, I dodge. But I start going on the offensive, like trying to get him to crash into one of those walls. And we keep running at each other like full speed. Feels like I'm flying through the hallway until we get to the end. And then there's one storefront that isn't a storefront, but like a painting of a forest. In this painting of the forest, I accidentally fall and crash myself into. Like, I didn't fall into any of the actual storefronts, but I Super Mario 64'd myself into this painting. And in the painting, I just kind of look back out onto the street front. Not really confused, but just like, damn, I guess I fell. Brian David Gilbert actually walks, to the end. Because I was taking care of, like, that guy that was trying to, like, push us. He walks to the end, pulls the painting off the wall, and I end up falling out of the painting with it. But with myself falling out of that painting, there was a small little rabbit creature that fell out as well. I think to myself, okay, that's pretty cool. Why is the rabbit here, though? Rabbit falls out, and with him, a bunch of basketballs. Like, not only am I falling out of this painting, but he is, and now, like, there's a bunch of basketballs on the floor, too, now. Which is fine. It leads into this awkward conversation of, like, oh, sorry, is this my basketball, or is this one yours? Because I play basketball a little bit on my free time, so it's like, I want to get my own ball back. I don't want to, like, take the rabbit kids. I'd rather steal candy from a baby, not a basketball. But we end up getting everything sorted out, because it's not a very hard thing to do. And we get to talking. He says he has a volleyball net. Like, he wants to play volleyball with me and Brian. And I'm like, that sounds really fun, honestly. I ask if he, like, has a court or know where a court is. And for the record, guys, I don't play volleyball. I think volleyball is really cool. Like, I watched Haikyuu, and I went on this, like, volleyball hyperfixation for a while where I really wanted to play it. I didn't, but, like, the thought still lingered in my head. But I'm like, okay, that sounds really fun. So everyone enters back in the painting. I have my basketball back, like, everyone's chilling. And once everyone's back in there, like, the art style of the world changes. It went from this, like, okay, this is probably real life with, like, a little bit less detail, to now I'm in, like, a children's book. Everything has this, like, thin, penciled background illustration to it, where you can kind of see the border of where everything will be ending in its own frame. And, art style is very important to dreams, at least to me, because I end up dreaming in, like, multiple different art styles, and it gives me a sense of, like, where I am in the world. And so everything turns into this, like, almost hand-drawn illustration. The same as the rabbit, because when the rabbit falls out of the painting, he also has this, like, kind of drawn outline to him. Like, he's very much so different than me and anyone else, like the person trying to ram me through doors in the hallway. But I enter this world, and we end up on this grassy hill. On top of the hill isn't really anything but, like, a bunch of shrubbery, but I just kind of, like, I take that moment just standing on the top of the hill, just to realize, oh, I am really, really high up, huh? Kind of like in the illustrations you do as a kid of, like, drawing, like, grassy hills, how there'd just be, like, a bunch of lumps on a page. That's what it kind of felt and looked like. on one of the lumps was the rabbit and his house. He didn't have a paved volleyball court, but what he did have was this kind of grassy, paved dirt area where he would play. And it was just kind of beautiful. Instead of having lines to draw out all of the different parts of the court, he had rocks. Not rocks that are on the outside that you're gonna hit your face or trip on, but he put them into the dirt so that no one would be tripping over them, but you'd still be able to see them. It was kind of paved in a way. But the longer I stay in this world, the more I just feel like my own, introspectively speaking, my own art style was changing. And throughout most of the dream, I would see myself in both first and third person, and I didn't end up getting to see myself in third person in this area. But I kind of had this feeling, not like a knowingness, but more just like an interpretation that in this area, in this painting world, in this zone, I was turning into a cartoon fox, the same fuzzy art style as the bunny. And that's not just predator and prey, but more just oh cool, I'm a fuzzy little guy, and that's awesome. I ended up, ending the dream there because my cat Casper, the one that I left the room to deal with earlier, just kept screaming. And, I love the cat. Obviously I do. But goddamn if he is not one of the noisiest animals I've ever lived with. His affection is towards playing games. And, I love that about him. I love an active cat. As much as I love passive affection, there is something about this constant want and will to play with the feather toy, play with whatever. I feel like that's really nice. But I don't want to do that at 8 a.m. when I'm just trying to barely get myself out of bed and wake up. He doesn't understand that, which is fine. He is a cat. He gets to make those mistakes. But after dealing with him, I go back to bed, enter back the same dream, and just for the sake of my own curiosity, I kind of manifest myself in that third person view, because I really do want to know what I look like. And whether it be just by pure choice or by will, I end up seeing myself as that fox, because I love foxes. They are my favorite animal by far. Without question, that's just what I love. And yeah, it was pretty cool. I think that might be natural enough of an end. I got a decent high score, and I finished the dream, which was pretty cool. Turns out I didn't even need the notes. I just am that talented of a storyteller anyway, despite my constant pauses and just saying all the time. I think this video specifically, I am going to be putting in a little bit of my music. I know I spoke about it in the Mario Galaxy video, but this one, guarantee it'll happen. That being said, if you make it this far, thank you. I know my videos aren't the most entertaining, and my voice probably isn't the most stimulating, but I do enjoy it when anyone watches. And I just want to call out specifically, and I'm so sorry that I forget your name, but you are the first and only comment on that Mario Galaxy video. I just wanted to say that your comment meant so much to me, and I really did genuinely appreciate it. Alright, everyone watching, have a wonderful day. I will see you later with a different type of video. Probably, I do have a really good idea for the next one. I was going to play Wii Music. I really love Wii Music as a game, and I wanted to play Handbell Harmony, because that game slaps. That game is so good. It was one of the main reasons why I started making music, and that is probably what I'm going to be playing next. Alright, have a wonderful day, everyone.